Hello, and welcome to another edition of Automate Office Work, a weekly podcast that is streamed live on LinkedIn, and you can watch it later, recorded on LinkedIn as well as on YouTube and as an audio-only podcast. All right. For those of you who are joining in live, we do have a chat room going on in LinkedIn where you can leave any questions, and I'll be sure to see them and be able to respond here live, as well as after about 20 minutes of prepared discussion. I invite anyone who is in the audience to come on to the show, and you can have a chat with me. We can discuss your present situation, or you can share your experience with automation as well. I'll be sure to share the link so that you can come on. All right. Today's topic is all about templates. Well, it's not all about templates because we're just going to get started about templates. Templates is a very, very deep subject when we talk about automating. There is so much to explore about templates. So we're going to talk a little bit just about how to organize your templates, how to set up a file to make it really, really easy and simple to be able to then do further automations on it. All right. So for those of you who are able to see my screen, as well as, I guess, those who are listening, I'd just like to describe my website briefly. It's automateofficework.com. My name is Justin. I'm an ex-corporate lawyer, and I went on this journey, the same journey that you're on. And I did not find a podcast that met my needs for this. So I decided to create it and help everybody who is also wanting to go on this journey. All right, so my website is automateofficework.com. You can see my services. You can book a call with me. Below that, I've got a newsletter that you can sign up. I am active on LinkedIn. I post often, as well as I do articles here on this website. You can read a little bit about me, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Below that, we have a section where it displays all the past podcasts. You can listen to them directly in the browser, or you can find them on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Apple Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on whatever platform you prefer. And below that, I have a list of all of my recent articles. We've got lots of good content here that can help you with all different kinds of areas of whatever you want to automate. All right. So let's go to automateofficework.com/templates. And there is a very nice document here. There's a lot more than what we're going to cover today. Be sure to go look over it if you would like. But it starts out, templates are one of the foundational things that you must get in order to start automating. And this article goes through the process of how to create a template, and we're going to talk about that today. All right, I have here about 5 steps of getting your templates in order. Step 1 is you need to create an internal template library. Your team needs to have all of your templates in one place where everybody can see them. And that means gathering everything under the sun, right? I don't know how big your department is. I was in a department with over 400 people, and it was chaos. There were templates everywhere on different SharePoints, and especially in people's laptops. So we needed to get one place where everybody could put them in a single library. And that's internal. Okay, I would not expose that to the business. That's in a further step. Step 2, identification of core templates for streamlining. Okay, you might have thousands of templates that you've gathered. You need to identify the core ones that we're going to be working with first, the ones that we really need to streamline first. Part 3, and this is what we're going to be discussing today, it's alignment and streamlining of templates. Okay, after that, you need to create a template library for your business. Just like I said, you don't want them to have access to everything under the sun. You need to give them access to a tailored experience where they only see the templates you want them to see. And step 5 is preventing future drift. Okay. We got into this mess because there was no order. Everybody was doing their own thing, and you need to prevent that from happening in the future. All right, today we're going to be focusing on part 3, alignment and streamlining. I'll click on this link, go down to that part of the article. All right, our goal is to take thousands of templates possibly and align them down to a couple dozen core templates at most. You may find that you still have hundreds of fringe templates that are complex and rarely used. Set those aside for now. We will focus on your core contract types. So let's say you identify NDAs as a core template type that each of your, perhaps a legal team, wants to improve. But now each legal team, perhaps you have dozens of legal teams like I had, each legal team has their own NDA template different from everyone else's. We need to get that number down. Compare all the NDAs across each other, identify the key parts and their key differences. Is there a reason for certain teams to have slight differences? Could they not just combine and use the same NDA template? You might find that there are justifications for differences. Perhaps you find that an NDA for R&D needs to look different from an NDA for procurement, which needs to look different from an NDA for sales. But now we just took the number of templates from 40 down to 3. That is a huge win already. All right. Next, I've got a sample guide for how to do the next part. It's how to format your templates. And you can find it in my article at automateofficework.com/templates. It is, you click on the part 3 and you go to that section. There is a link to a Word document, sample guide for formatting templates. All right, I'm going to download this and open it myself. All right, this is I believe it's 7-page document that you can tailor to your own organization. It goes through like how to brand your contract templates, how to put your logo in the top corner, which font sizes, which fonts and colors your people should use, because this is an opportunity to make your contracts beautiful. It's another way to show your brand instead of just showing a dull contract. And of course, not all contracts need to be branded. Sometimes you want to show that something was mutually negotiated. So maybe don't brand those types of contracts. But for all the ones that are customer facing, be proud of your company and give a great, beautiful contract template to your customer. Okay. Further than this, further than just the look and feel, we need to take all of the negotiable business terms that are scattered all throughout your contract. We have to gather them all together and we have to put them on the very first page. Okay. We're going to make this not just into a legal document, we're going to turn this into a business document that your business can easily use. All right, so that involves creating a table, and I've got instructions here. You create a table. At the very top of your table, you say the first row, you say parties, and then the name of your company, and then the other company. Okay, and then along the left side column, you have name and address. So that leaves spaces for the name and address of your company and the other party. And because we have already we bolded these terms like parties, the name of your company, we bolded them, made them great, great, great big letters. Now these are your defined terms. You already have the term parties is already defined, and you can do that for all of your negotiable things. You can I do have instructions here how to install the developer tab in Word. Okay, and then that allows you to put checkboxes. You can put text areas that are highlighted in yellow for your people so they know exactly what to fill in. You can give drop down boxes. Like I said, you can do checkboxes. So you can make a really beautiful uh, I, I see a comment here. I just want to read it quick. Hi, Justin. Really liking the live LinkedIn event on template preparation you're giving at the time of writing this. Unfortunately, I have to jump to a call. Of course. Yes, you can get access to the recording. There is a recording. You go to my profile and you look under the events tab on LinkedIn, or you can go to automateofficework.com. And underneath the podcast, you can find this on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Apple Podcast. All right. So good day, Mr. Viewer. All right. So yeah, make your form really accessible. This is a business document. You want to put all of this business stuff on the very first page. When I asked my business people, like, what was so scary about filling out a contract template that they had to come to legal for every little thing? They wanted to change the ice cream flavor from vanilla to chocolate. They would ask legal, and I'd be like, why? It's not a legal issue. It's business. You can choose and put it in. The people told me that working with a contract is one of the scariest things that they have to do in their work because it's a legal document. And they always felt that if they messed up, they could lose their job. So this is why they came to legal for every single little thing. Okay. On the other end, legal felt like we were flooded with these very minor emails that we didn't need to get, you know. So by doing this, we made it much easier, more approachable for the business. So we told the business everything on the first page is your baby. Okay. Um, After you do create this form, there is you can restrict editing. You can put a password on it, and you can allow only filling in forms. Okay, and I'm going to show you what the end result looks like. I created a sample version of this myself. I'm showing it on my screen, but the very first page is a form with all of the different options that are going, all the changeable things. This is a consulting agreement. We have like the effective date, the expiry date, the hourly rate, the location, a maximum amount. We have a bunch of check boxes with possible consulting services that will be checked. We've got bank account information to pay this consultant. And then we also have spaces for all the details of the signatories, and the signatures go on the very first page. Makes it really easy for your business to fill in. Then on the legal side, me reviewing this, all I have to look at is the very first page, because all the rest of the legalese is locked down. I know that they didn't change it. Okay, so this makes it super easy to review. So easy, in fact, that you might even think, well, we gave them the guardrails. Legal doesn't even need to review this. You don't even need to review the generated document because we put the guardrails in place. Okay. You might be asking, well, how do we connect the legalese then? And well, you do that on the front page. You put a little paragraph. It says here, this consulting agreement, along with its general terms and conditions and schedules, herein the agreement shall come into force, blah, blah, blah. So after that, you start with a heading that says general terms and conditions, and then you put your legalese. Okay. I would also recommend that anything that is not negotiable, that is just like a policy, also take that out of your contract. It's filler. Psychologically, it overwhelms the other party that's reviewing. I would instead put it on your website, especially because it's not negotiable, and then incorporate it as a URL. Okay, this shortens your contract. It makes it so that the other side, they also have a business person who gets this first, right? And they're going to be focused on the front page. This is the stuff that they're interested in. They're not interested so much in the legalese, so they're going to be focused on the front page. Also, if they do get their lawyer involved, their lawyer sees this. It's a 2-page contract instead of 30. And that has a psychological impact as well on their lawyer. Okay. So just make your contracts way easier to work with. Okay, so that's it for, I guess, the formatting. I guess I could also say that this guide is only the beginning. You might as well say that we want to give advice not only on the look and feel of the contract, the structure of it, but you might also give advice to your lawyers about like the tone of voice, maybe the level of complexity of language that you use. You might say we want to use simple language. You might also say we want to make contracts that are fair for both parties up front, so that they don't need to negotiate for fairness. It's just common courtesy nowadays because we all want contracts that are more fair, you know. Um, so yeah, I hope you find benefit in my sample guide to formatting contracts. This is a great way to format your contracts so that your business can work with them. You can also think about, and I'll show how to do this a little bit, but think about the previous episodes that we did about intake forms. A lot of intake forms, you could be gathering the exact inputs that need to go into this form on the very first page, right? So why does there have to be a step where people manually fill this in? Either the requester fills it in, or the legal department then finds the form and then they copy and paste manually. So have a think about doing it how I'm going to show you here next. Okay, I'm going to pull up my website again. This time I'm going to go to automateofficework.com/docx. Okay, and so this comes the portion where we talk about how DOCX files actually work. So a DOCX file, I know we all work with them. We're used to working with them manually, but you really have to understand the basics of a DOCX file if you want to know how to automate. And Actually, when I was exploring this, there was nothing written about this on the internet. I Googled how to automatically like manipulate DOCX, couldn't find anything. I finally found that a DOCX file, well, let me say, if you open a DOCX file directly in, say, like a notepad and you want to see the code behind the DOCX, it's gonna look crazy. It looks like a lot of garbage. There is nothing there that you can make heads or tails of. There's nothing understandable about it. So you can't just go in and manipulate this file. You can't just do like a search and replace of the code of the docx. Okay, there's actually an extra step, and that is that a docx file is actually a zip folder. So as a zip folder, you need to unzip it first. And then there's a collection of folders and files. Okay. There is a file in there called document.xml. XML is it's a way to store data. It looks a lot like HTML because HTML is actually a kind of XML where you have different containers. You have like you'll have a document container, and that has tags, an opening and a closing document tag. And then inside your document container, you'll have a bunch of containers for sections, and inside a section, you'll have a bunch of containers called paragraphs, and then inside the paragraphs, you'll have a bunch of elements. I believe they're called document or I think they're called word runs, and then these things you can format, and you can say like this run of words is underlined, this one is bold, it's this font, it's this color. So this is how you manipulate the actual content of your file. If you open your document.xml and you find exactly where you want to change it, you can then make your edit. Then you save that document XML, you zip it back together, and you change the file extension back to docx. You can open this in Word, and you have just changed your document. Okay, there is a much easier way to do this, and that is there's an extension in Chrome called OOXML tools. I'm going to click on this. Okay, and it says drag one file to open it in the OOXML editor. You can also drag two files to compare the two. Okay, so I'm going to open up, I'm going to drag my guide, how to format documents. Okay, and it shows me on the left, there's a tree of folders. I'm going to go into the Word folder, and then there is a document.xml. I click on that, and in the right-hand pane, I have the XML. Okay, and we can then look for, what am I going to look for? Okay, here is the word contracts inside of a run. Here is formatting. So that's the title at the top of our, at the top. I'm going to go back to the top of this. You can see formatting AOW contracts. Okay, so we have these formatting. There's probably AOW. Yeah, there's AOW in the XML, and then contracts. So just after contracts, I'm just going to type my name. Let's say by Justin. Okay, and now in this Chrome extension, you've got a save button. You have to click any changes. It says all changes saved, and then there's a button to download. I click on that download, and it asks me what is the name of your docx file. I'm just going to leave it what it is. I'm going to say download, and it downloads a docx file, and it opens it in Word. And you now see I just changed it. It says formatting AOW contracts by Justin. This is super powerful, right, guys? So how do we connect this to our intake form? And I'm going to show you. I have that in my article, my DOCX article. If I can go back. All right, DOCX article at the very bottom. Okay, so I created a DOCX template. It is on my server. You can click on the link here to download it, but I uploaded a little screenshot. It says, hi, my name is, and then in square brackets, it says name goes here. A couple lines down below, it says, I really like, and then in square brackets, it says food goes here. Okay, underneath this screenshot, it says form, fill in your name and favorite food, and submit your new docx file. So I'm going to type my name in the name field. My favorite food is, I'll say pizza, because everybody likes pizza. And then I'm going to click on submit. And 1 second later, it downloaded a DOCX file and it opened it immediately because I have that set in my Word settings. And it says, "Hi, my name is Justin." It filled in the name. And it says, "I really like pizza." So we just filled it in. All right. So let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments, either on LinkedIn, here live, on the recording, on YouTube. How many of you have this dream of not doing manual work like this and getting the right people to just fill in a form, you know? Also, this makes it so that your users don't have to edit the docx file directly. Um, Remember, we were talking about how people are scared of editing legal documents, right? But if you give them a form and you make it really easy for them to pick, click, you can even put some logic on there. You make sure that they filled in the things properly. Like if it's a date, only give them a date picker. If you're asking for a number, only give them a number. You're getting the exact things that you need. And you might also put things, you might put some logic in there, like if they don't type in their name or their favorite food, when they click on submit, give an error instead, and you force them to fill in your form in the right way. All right, so I think that's it for the prepared parts. I hope you guys enjoyed this part. I'm going to now get the link that other people can come on. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, I've got invite, I've got a URL for StreamYard.com. I'm going to put it in the LinkedIn chat. Come chat with me live. All right, and anybody, I've just posted that link. Anybody who clicks on that is able to come on. You can share your cameras so we can see you, or just share audio. Can have a conversation. If you would like to chat about this or anything else, I'm happy to chat with you. We've got some attendees. All right. Also, if you don't feel comfortable coming on, you can always just put something in the chat as well. If you guys have any kind of questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you would like to, for me to help you a little bit, I'm happy to give my advice. If you find that that this gets too difficult and you need a consultant, that's where I come in. Um, you can feel free to hire me for my services. I give advice. I can meet with your team and I can help you brainstorm. I can help you be your imagination on what is possible. And then you can make a plan for the future of where your team wants to go. This is great. I especially like the idea of turning a legal document into a business and legal document. Thank you very much, Stephen. I'm glad that you're appreciating this, you know. I've got other recordings that we did in the past where we made an intake form. We also in a previous episode we took that intake form and we turned it into a request platform where you can manage your requests, and it's all in SharePoint. So you don't have to work just with spreadsheets and emails anymore. You can work in a much better way where everybody gets the data points that they need. Everybody knows where everything sits. And then guess what? Legal is not the bottleneck. You can tell your requesters exactly where it sits and what they need to be doing. Okay. I see another one. Any comments about how to organize groups of contracts? Okay, so that is actually going to be in next week's episode. So I have actually two different contract libraries that I've built, and I can show you. The first one I'm going to show is inside of Outlook itself, and this is that library where it's everything under the sun, every contract template that every lawyer has. You know, the one that in my department, we had 400 people in the department, we had 2,000 templates. That's everything under the sun. Okay. So I created this button in Outlook and I click on it when I have an email open. I click on it and it opens a side panel on the right. And now I have a tree of folders. Okay. How would I organize my contracts? Well, that is actually a big question because if you have a department with 400 people, everybody's going to have a different opinion. And actually, every team might have a different structure, right? Intellectual property might look different than litigation and employment or commercial teams. So I would say um, just divide your folders first by like area of law, divisions, and regions. I have one here. I'm in a division. Then we had different commercial divisions. I'm in the diagnostics team for today. Click on that, and I only have two documents here, but I would say put everything under the sun here first. Your next step is to align. And once you have everything, you might start then putting things into subfolders. You might say like, oh, these are old, but old versions might still come in handy sometimes. When, especially if you're amending an old agreement, you want the Word version when you're working with PDFs still. But I would say make it very clear which documents are actually the ones that you still want to use. Maybe you have like an official documents so that other teams across your department can come and see like, oh, they use that. Because this is the very first thing that happens when we work as lawyers, right? If there's a new kind of contract you're being asked to create, your first question is, does somebody else already have a template of this? And if you're in a department of 400 people, emailing three people, it's just a shot in the dark, right? So you really have to make it so, and we're going to talk about this next week. So I guess maybe I should leave it there, leave it as a teaser. Come back next week, Stephen, and we will have even more. I'm going to show, I guess we've got 2 minutes left, unless there's more questions. I also have a version of this that is on SharePoint for the business. You do not want them to see everything under the sun, but you want them to have a great experience. You do not want them to email you either asking for the latest version. And God forbid, you don't want them to just use some template that's laying around from like years ago. And then they submit that to legal for review. And you're like, where is this version from? You used the wrong version. So in order to stop all of this mess, stop the distribution, the email distribution of templates, right? That's the worst. So we're going to go to automateofficework.sharepoint.com/sites/legal. We have a directory here of all the legal teams. I'm going to go to my diagnostics team. I am then going to go to pages, templates. And then the business here has access to those two templates that I showed in Outlook. They are loaded here immediately. Sounds good, Stephen says. Thank you. All right. So your business can come to your legal team's website and see the updated versions. We have one single source of truth, but now you have multiple interfaces where you can see those. And we only show the business these two. We're not going to show them everything under the sun. Along with that, we have trainings that we gave, like in 2019. They can click on this Word document and it downloads a copy of this. They can click on the title of the document and they go to a dedicated page with some brief training about it, right? Like, here's our playbook. It answers all the questions that you'll ever have. And I guess maybe I should leave it here as well. And because we're going to be talking about this next week. All right. How do you go to the next level? Okay. But today it was mostly just about how do we structure our contracts? And this is even before you go to technology, right? You want to make it really easy. Um, and maybe we can talk about AI reading your contract, right? So a lot of human language, it's unstructured. If you just have all of your data points all throughout your contract, it makes it quite difficult for the AI to understand, especially since human language is ambiguous. Okay. What is more structured is a table. And if you have the table, you have the name of your data point, and then you have the value of it, AI can find that much easier. So organize. And the humans reading these documents can then find them much more easily as well. Um, All right, I see we are at the half-hour mark. I hope that you all enjoyed this content. I will leave it here. If any of you would like to reach out to me, find me at automateofficework.com. You can book a call with me, as well as connect with me on LinkedIn. Let's have a chat. Let's see how we can take your work to the next level. And yeah, I hope that you got a lot of benefit out of this content. Please share it with others. We're trying to grow this. I guess do all the stuff. Subscribe on YouTube and subscribe to the podcast if you would rather get this in your podcast and listen to this as audio only. I hope that you enjoy, and all right, with that, happy automating, everybody. Goodbye.